It was the first qualifier, and Mumbai Indians obliterated the Delhi Capitals today. You're watching another episode of End of Days Play, and this is Uninvited Opinions. So the only thing that Delhi got right today was winning the toss, but after that, everything else was downhill. Let's take a quick look at the scorecard. Delhi Capitals put Mumbai Indians into bat. Mumbai began very briskly. They lost Rohit Sharma early, but Quinton de Kock and Surya Kumar Yadav just raced away. They went after the Delhi Capital bowlers and set them up for a big total. Delhi Capitals bowlers fought back primarily to Ravi Ashwin, who was amongst the wickets, who controlled the run rate to a large extent, and then with some assistance from Rabada and Nokia and Akshar Patel, they sort of pulled the scoring rate back. They took a few wickets. But then, in the end, the famed Mumbai hitting power came to the rescue again. Ishan Kishan and Hardik Pandya just blew away the premier fast bowlers for Delhi Capitals in Anrik Nokia and Kagiso Rabada to set up a demanding total of 200 on the board. And when it came to Delhi Capitals' turn to bat, what happened? The famed bowling duo from Mumbai Indians, Trent Bolt and Jasprit Bumrah, blew the top order away, so much so that there were none for three at one stage. And in the end, it was down to a fighting innings from Marcus Stoinis and Akshar Patel to lend some level of credibility to the Delhi total. But despite that, Mumbai Indians won by 57 runs. Brilliant bowling figures from Jasprit Bumrah, 4 for 14, and Trent Bolt, as well as some support from the rest of the bowling team. So, Nags, your impressions of the day?
Yeah, I wouldn't talk much about what happened today because you kind of summed it up in the scorecard itself. I have a suggestion for actually having a very tight finals. It should be the Mumbai batsmen against the Mumbai bowlers. I'm sure it's going to make some interesting viewing then. Because I don't see any of the other teams getting anywhere close to the quality that runs through the batting lineup of this Mumbai Indians side. And may it be the batting or the bowling, I think they have kind of set themselves apart from the league, from the rest of the league, in terms of the quality that they possess.
Absolutely. They showed why they finished number one in the table and why there was such a big gulf between them and the rest of the teams which qualified for the playoffs. There's not a lot to talk about Delhi today. So I'm going to focus more about Mumbai, both the batting and the bowling. Some brilliant hitting. I think they've got their batsmen are in form. I think we've spoken a lot about Surya Kumar Yadav today, but again, he just showed today why he's such an impressive batsman. He came into bat at the fall of Rohit Sharma's wicket, and together with Quinton de Kock, they put on a fantastic hitting display.
Yes, if you think about it, the two international captains that feature in the Mumbai playing 11, the two most experienced players in the Mumbai lineup, Rohit Sharma and Kieron Pollard, actually got out for a duck today. So they contributed 0 to the total. So it was left to all these uncapped players in the company of Quinton de Kock and the hitting power of Hardik Pandya in the end, which propelled them to this mammoth 200. The wicket was lost of their captain was lost at the top, but that didn't slow them down. They were up for it because I believe that they probably had this feeling that in case the dew sets in the second innings, they would need to have a big total to defend. And that's why they never slowed down despite losing wickets. And it is not about just going hammer and tongs. It is the quality of stroke play against a quality bowling attack. So if Mumbai are probably the best bowling attack in this competition, Delhi are probably a close second. When Surya Kumar Yadav, there was not a single shot that was mistimed. Everything was properly placed. The bowlers were trying their best to outfox the batsman. So there were occasions when Quinton de Kock actually lost his shape, but it was not the case with Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah, and then the most impressive part of their innings was the late order hitting. I know you weren't happy with Hardik Pandya coming in so late, but my word, did he prove what a fantastic hitter he is. He scored 37 of just 14 deliveries, and he quite often you'd find some batsmen sort of pick and choose which bowlers they go after. Some try and play out the more experienced international bowlers and pick and choose the domestic bowlers to target. Pandya didn't do that. Neither did he have the option. He was up against Rabada and Nokia, and my word, he went after them. And I mean, not to forget Ishan Kishan as well. He's been a revelation, and something that you mentioned earlier to me today, the fact that his consistency, with the bat, plus the fact that he's a keeper, surely puts in the reckoning for a T20 call-up in the near future, and he's probably leapfrogged Rishabh Pant and probably even Sanju Samson, in being at the top of the list.
Absolutely. I'm not sure about the reckoning for the India cap, but he certainly leapfrogged Sanju Samson in the list of sixes in this tournament. So he now has the highest, and he is actually being followed closely on his heels by Hardik Pandya in the sixes column. So of course, I did express my displeasure at the fact that Pandya chooses to come down so far down the order. It's almost like Mumbai tried to shield him only for to be using him as a 20 ball specialist. It's so much so that Krunal Pandya has batted almost regularly ahead of him in whenever the opportunity has come. But I think such is the setup of the Mumbai batting lineup that they can go hard. They still can actually afford to send someone else and still not lose momentum, and yet free up Hardik Pandya for what he's best known for, which is just flawless power hitting right at the end, even if be for just the last final 3 or 4 overs. He does that
Absolutely.
job perfectly. That's the template Mumbai follows.
Absolutely. And then when it came to their turn with the ball, they just, sometimes you say batsmen take the pitch out of the equation. I think in this case, the bowlers actually took the dew out of the equation, because blowing away the Delhi top order, Trent Bolt, to imagine that he was someone who Delhi Capitals let go of, and Mumbai snapped him up like that. They must be tearing the hair out now. And Jasprit Bumrah, what a delivery to get rid of Shikhar Dhawan with that Yorker. Dhawan is Delhi's in-form batsman, and he just couldn't get bat on ball. It was just fantastic new ball bowling.
All facets of fast bowling skills on display. Who says that test match bowling line and length cannot fetch you wickets in T20 game? I must say this is one of the best things to have happened this season in the IPL, that the pitches have actually assisted fast bowlers enough. We are so much used to playing in some low, slow turners back home in India, where almost squads are built around that. But here we have seen the likes of Jofra Archer bounce people out, the likes of Bolt seam people out, and the accuracy and the skill set of Jasprit Bumrah. I think pretty much he will shine regardless of what conditions we are playing in. So to have those two right at the top, remember the last game when Mumbai Indians lost to Sunrisers? I was saying probably the other teams should take a notice that if they can somehow play out these two bowlers at the top, there are runs to be had against the rest. But the problem is you can't manage to play out these two bowlers at the top. If you are actually 12 for 4 or not for 3, then I think the chase is almost not non-existent.
Absolutely, it's just a frightening prospect for teams just facing up to these bowlers, and it shows what a difference it makes. Sunrisers beat them by 10 wickets last time around, but it was without these two champion bowlers present in the bowling lineup, and with them around, you can see what havoc they create. I don't know if you agree with the choice of Jasprit Bumrah as the player of the match.
No disputes there. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
even when he came back for that one over, the 14th or 15th over, I think Rohit Sharma ideally would have brought him much later, but he probably came on to bowl 2 or 3 overs earlier than he would have liked. He just got the wicket of the well set Stoinis. So he just blew away Stoinis's wickets the very first ball he came back in. So yes, technically Stoinis to that length should have actually played forward instead of playing back. But who cares? This is T20. And actually what mattered is that the wickets were disturbed behind Stoinis and he had to go back. So Bumrah actually had a flawless display, and it's just very mouth-watering to see what he can do going forward for India. And obviously, I think they look unstoppable come the finals.
absolutely. And I think the fact that they didn't have a standout batsman today, there were a lot of similar power hitting contributions from the batsmen, meant that there's only one real choice for the man of the match, and that was Bumrah. Looking ahead at tomorrow's game, it's the eliminator between the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Royal Challengers Bangalore. In some ways, I think they must be pleased to be playing Delhi. Who is the winner going to be, rather than Mumbai? So, who do you think is going to win it tomorrow?
On current form, I would back Sunrisers. Bangalore has actually has taken so many seasons now to actually qualify for the playoffs. They don't let go of this opportunity. Let them play with the freedom that we have not seen them play through the season. And if that happens, I think they can make a match of it. The Sunrisers are actually beaming with confidence, but they are led by a pretty inexperienced bowling attack. Sandeep Sharma is a veteran when it comes to IPL, but when it comes to international experience, he is still an uncapped player. And T. Natarajan is another important player which will feature for Sunrisers. If the international quality of RCB come to the fore and they manage to take some of these bowlers apart, then I think they can challenge Sunrisers. But purely in terms of the confidence and the momentum that Sunrisers are carrying into this eliminator, they still look the side for me.
Absolutely. And I think Sunrisers also have Rashid Khan and Jason Holder, who both, bring that international experience to their bowling attack. I just hope for a close contest. But I think on paper, based on current form, I am leaning towards Sunrisers Hyderabad as well. So let's see what happens tomorrow. That's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to keep more videos coming your way. And as always, we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe.